Plant identification apps have become very popular. In this program, I'm going to compare 7 different apps and figure out which one's best. I'm actually going to compare the testing done by 2 different people, and then I'll give you some pros and cons for each app. At the end of this program, you'll be able to make the right decision. Now, all of these apps are free, and they all are free of ads except one, and I'll mention that at the time. None of the testing results I'm going to show you are my own. Other people have done some good tests here, and I'm simply going to report on the information they've found. Most of the results have been done by a botanist named Shane Hannafy. He's based in Grass Valley, California, and he's made it his mission to document all of the native plants in California. His main passion is to create the flora of the plants in Nevada County, California. That's going to be available very shortly, and he's done this using his own money. And he now has set up a Patreon account to gather some support for the project. So if you believe it's important to understand native plants, go to his Patreon account and give him a donation. I'm going to put links to all of his contact information in the description. He's also an admin in a Facebook group called California Native Plants, and you can see some of his work there. Shane has been testing these apps for 5 years now, and he actually has data from each of the years he's done the testing. So I'm going to show you results from each year so you can see how the apps have evolved over time. When they first came out, they weren't that great at identifying plants, and they're getting better and better as their database of information improves. The testing since 2021 has been done with the same 40 photographs, and it's focused on apps with greater than 4-star ratings in Google Play Store and ones that have more than 5 million downloads. The photos fall into 3 categories: 15 native plants, 15 invasive plants, and 10 in the hard mode, which includes things like grasses, sedges, rushes, and a moss. These are relatively common plants that Shane can easily identify based on the photos. The scoring went something like this: 2 points for a correct ID, 1 point for a partial ID, and 0 points for a wrong ID. A partial ID was awarded when the genus was correct, or if only the genus was offered and it was correct. The exception to this is in iNaturalist, which works differently than the other apps. In every case, only a genus is offered, so if the first species suggested was correct, it was considered to be a correct ID. The native pictures used for this testing were mostly California native plants. Here are the results for 2025. iNaturalist and Flora Incognita had the most number of correct answers. Now let's have a closer look at each of these apps. I'm going to present a couple comments for each of the apps so you can get a better feel of how they work, and these comments come directly from Shane. iNaturalist had a rating of 3.7 stars. It's not the most popular app in Google Play Store, but it is one of the better apps to consider. It got 71 out of 80 possible points. It had 3 partial correct and 3 incorrect. It did get all the grasses correct. It was the only one that got any of the sedges correct, and it even got the moss correct. However, it did do slightly worse in 2025 than it did in previous years. It is the only app that allows experts to correct your IDs, which is a big advantage. Shane still considers iNaturalist as the best choice. Flora Incognita had a rating of 4.7 stars, which makes it one of the more popular apps. It got 73 out of 80 points, which is the best out of all the apps reviewed. It had 5 partial correct and only 1 incorrect. It did do a few weird things this year. It identified some pictures differently this year than last year, and it missed some of the plants that even the worst apps got right. It got all the grasses and mosses correct. Shane would rank it second among the apps, but only because it lacks some of the additional features for biological completeness that the iNaturalist offers. If you're only interested in identifying plants, Flora Incognita is a good choice. PlantNet is also very popular. It got 4.6 stars, but it didn't score very well. It only got 65 out of 80. It had 9 partial correct and 3 incorrect. PlanetNet is an okay app. Its user interface is kind of clunky, but it does have some additional features that may be of interest to houseplant keepers. Google Lens is also quite popular, with 4.7 stars, but it only scored 59 out of 80. It had 13 partial correct and 4 incorrect. Google Lens is great at identifying a lot of things, but it's not really your best choice for identifying plants. In the latest version, rather than give you a result that it found, it now tries to use AI to provide summary information from Gemini, and it doesn't do this very well. Google Lens is probably a good app to have on your phone to use for other things, but it's not the best app for plants. Picture This is also very popular with 4.6 stars, but it only scored 53 out of 80, with 11 partial correct and 8 incorrect. This app just isn't very good for identifying plants, and it doesn't seem to be keeping up with the other apps in the market. LeafSnap is a little less popular with only 4.2 stars, but it did get 67 out of 80 points. 7 were partially correct and 3 incorrect. The one problem with this app is that it does come with ads, and it insists on displaying an ad every time you try to identify a plant. It also tries to sell you additional features like improved accuracy and advanced ID. These really should be part of the main app. The next one that was tested is called Seek. It's actually made by iNaturalist. One of the differences between the two is that Seek does not publish any photographs that are taken, and it seems to be designed for a younger audience. It might be great for your children. It only has a rating of 3.3 stars, and it didn't score very well either. It got 39 out of 80. 9 were partially correct and 16 were incorrect. If you're interested in identifying plants, this really isn't a very good choice. So there you have it. According to Shane's testing, the two best apps is iNaturalist and Flora Incognita. Flora Incognita is a little bit more popular and did do a little better on the testing, but it doesn't have some of the features that iNaturalist has for identifying things other than plants. I think that's great work, but I wanted to get a second opinion, and I went looking for someone else who's done a similar kind of testing to see what their comments were and see what their test results were. A husband and wife team working under the banner Grow It, Build It did a similar set of tests. They used 234 photographs for 80 different species, so they would show the leaves, the stems, and the berries for the same kind of plant. They also include a wider range of plants, including things like trees. The rating was done very similar. So a correct answer is the correct species name. A partially correct answer is one where the genus is correct, or if there was a list of options given, at least one of them was the right species. An incorrect answer is everything else. The two apps with the most correct results were Picture This, with 78% correct, and PlanetNet with 68% correct. Now, if we look at both correct answers and partially correct answers, there were 3 apps that did quite well. iNaturalist got 80%, PlanetNet got 81%, and Picture This got 78%. Based on the testing done by Grow It, Build It, the 3 apps that will give you the best results are iNaturalist, PlanetNet, and Picture This. The results aren't identical between the two tests, but then the pictures used for the two weren't the same either. Another test I'd like to find is one that looks at houseplants, but I haven't found anyone who's done a similar kind of test looking at plant ID apps for houseplants. So if you know of such a test, let me know in the discussion. Plant apps are getting better and better, and everyone should really have one on your phone. It's a handy thing to take out and get a good idea of the plant. In fact, I'm finding that when I have an open house, lots of people have these apps and they go around and take pictures of my plants. But since I grow a lot of weird things, to be honest, most of the names that come up are at best partially correct. These apps work best when the plants you're trying to identify are well known and lots of pictures have been taken of them to add into their database. Unusual plants are really hard to identify with these apps. There's one other thing to be really aware of. These apps can get you into trouble. I think what will happen is that people will take pictures of their plants, they'll see a name, and they won't do any more thinking. They'll assume that's the plant they have. It's really important to use this information as a starting point. Then look up that plant, check out all its characteristics, and see if it's a correct match. Only then are you sure of the name of the plant. I think people will become too confident in these apps. Anyways, enjoy the apps, enjoy your plants. See you in the next program. Thank you very much for your support. If you'd like to connect directly with me, the best way is through my Facebook group, Garden Fundamentals. We'll answer all of your questions there. I also have a blog called Garden Myths, where I've debunked over 2,000 different myths. I'll put links to all of these in the description below. Happy gardening.